Welcome to PK Booksmarts, where we dive into the eerie and the unknown. Tonight, I'm bringing you a tale that reaches beyond our world into the cold, unfeeling void of space. This is a story that defies the silence, a story about what really happened on that forsaken station. Prepare yourselves for the silent horror of ISS1. What if I told you that there's a rule so bizarre, so unsettling, that it governs the lives of astronauts in space? A rule whispered in shadows, never officially acknowledged. The main rule astronauts must follow: never talk about what happened on the first International Space Station. But today we're breaking that silence. John always dreamed of the stars. As a child, he would stare up at the night sky, captivated by the twinkling lights. His parents nurtured his passion with late-night stargazing sessions and books about space exploration. Over time, his fascination grew into an obsession. He devoured every piece of information he could find, dreaming of one day becoming an astronaut. But the path to the stars was anything but easy. John joined the military, serving as a pilot and honing his skills in engineering. Years of hard work and sacrifice finally paid off when he was accepted into NASA's astronaut training program. It was the culmination of everything he had ever wanted, a dream finally within reach. The day John received the offer to work on the new International Space Station 2 was nothing short of extraordinary. The excitement was palpable, but it was tempered by whispers of favoritism and the influence of personal connections that hung over the selection process. Nepotism, they said. Despite the rumors, John focused on proving his worth through his dedication and skill. Training was grueling. Each candidate faced physical tests that pushed them to their limits, psychological evaluations that probed their deepest fears, and simulations that tested their resilience under pressure. But for John, the hardships only fueled his determination. He was on the cusp of something extraordinary, and nothing could stand in his way. ISS-2 was a marvel of modern engineering, a floating city in the void of space, a beacon of human achievement. Yet it was also a place of secrets. The station's corridors were filled with scientists, engineers, and security personnel, each group operating with their own agendas, their own suspicions. But even amidst the routine of station life, John couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The haunting whispers of ISS-1, the abandoned predecessor of ISS-2, loomed over everything. It was said to be a relic, a ghost ship filled with the echoes of missions long forgotten. Yet it was more than that, much more. John's first mission was to recover satellite dishes from ISS-1, a task that seemed simple enough. But as Captain Shaw briefed the crew, his voice was filled with an unspoken tension. "Stick to your designated path," Shaw warned. "And whatever you do, don't talk about what you see." As John navigated the dark, silent corridors of ISS-1, his flashlight cutting through the thick shadows, a flicker of movement caught his eye. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, but then he saw it. A humanoid form, pale and ghostly, slipping into the darkness. It was there for only a moment, but it left an imprint on his mind that he couldn't shake. The silence of ISS. I was suffocating, every creak of metal and flicker of light filled with the weight of the unknown. John's mission was no longer just about recovering equipment. It was about uncovering the truth, about what happened to the crew of ISS-1 and the dark secrets that NASA was desperate to keep buried. Back on ISS-2, life returned to a semblance of normalcy, but John's mind was consumed by what he had seen. He began to dig deeper into the history of ISS-1, piecing together reports, rumors, and classified documents. The truth he uncovered was far more horrifying than he could have imagined. ISS-I had been the site of a disaster, an outbreak of an infectious bacteria that transformed the crew into something no longer human. NASA, in its desperation, had turned the station into a secret holding facility, disguising it as a deep space exploration mission. The horrors that unfolded there were hidden from the world, locked away in the cold expanse of space. One night, a fellow crew member slipped John a journal filled with incriminating evidence. The journal detailed the cover-up, the lies, and the terrifying truth of what ISS-I had become. But as John tried to process this, he realized he was no longer safe. The security team was onto him. John's quarters were raided, and the journal was confiscated. He was dragged through the station's cold corridors, his protests falling on deaf ears. The final destination, ISS-I. John was left alone on the ghostly station, surrounded by the remnants of what were once human beings. Days turned into weeks, and John felt the transformation begin within him. He was becoming one of them, another lost soul trapped in the silent horror of ISS-1. In his final moments of clarity, John penned a last journal entry, a desperate attempt to expose the truth. But whether anyone would find it, whether anyone would believe it, remained uncertain. As his consciousness faded, John knew that the stars outside were indifferent, cold, and with his final breath, he wondered if anyone would ever uncover the secrets he had fought so hard to reveal. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. Here at PK Booksmarts, we explore the darkest corners of reality and beyond. If this story sent chills down your spine, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below, and follow us on all social platforms for more tales that will keep you up at night. Remember, some truths are buried deep, and for good reason.